Okay, hi everyone. Quick update here, video to walk you through the updates on our syllabus. If you have read our syllabus, don't worry, you don't have to comb through every bit of it again, like I mentioned on the other video, but there are a few things I'm going to make note of that I have changed on the syllabus from last week. So if you read it in the email, per some encouragement, or I guess some suggestions from our dean, we're not taking up work in a paper hard copy form. Everything will be turned in electronically, and here's what that affects on our syllabus. So first on page 2, I just made note of that. All content will be turned in electronically. The major things affected in this course from that kind of mandate is exams and labs. So just real quick, I'm going to point out how that affects labs. Why won't this let me scroll? Labs. On number 5, page 2 is where most of the information about labs is there. And so if you are reading number 5 about labs here, the last sentence in this first paragraph, I just wrote that all lab work will be turned in on Blackboard either by typing in your data answers or uploading images of your work. So for the labs where you come to campus, there's 2 wet labs. If you look at the syllabus on the last page, the schedule there's 2 labs you're going to come to campus, okay, to complete a wet lab. And you're more than welcome to write down all your data and things on the paper or the procedure you print out and bring with you, but you will then go to Blackboard and put all your information in. Or if you have a tablet or computer or something with you, you can upload your answers right into Blackboard and you won't have to copy over any of your work, but everything has to be entered in electronically. And there's going to be times that I mentioned right here where you upload images of your work. And then I made note of that again. If you read the next paragraph, dry labs, print and complete the dry lab, and then you will either, I'm going to underline right here, you will either scan completed work or take a quality picture and upload the file. And here's what's really important, in PDF format. Please upload it in PDF format into the Blackboard assignment, okay? And the Blackboard assignments will be in the online classroom tab in our Blackboard course. Same thing with wet labs. You will complete the pre-lab data sheet and post-lab. Okay, scratch this out. They're not always going to be due right at the end of lab period. Okay, that's kind of, I need to change that. I'll probably give you to the end of the day, maybe even sometimes longer than that, to input your data online, not by the end of the lab period. But again, you will scan the completed work, take a quality picture, and upload it in PDF format into the Blackboard assignment, okay? So that's how labs are affected. Again, we also, several of our labs that we were going to do face-to-face are now going to be online. I'll point those out here in just a minute when I get to the schedule at the bottom. The other thing I mentioned that's going to be affected are exams. So here on page 3 is where I talk about missed exams and quizzes, but if you start reading, note all exams will occur online in Blackboard. And when we had to switch over in the spring, that's how we had to handle exams. So it's not my first go or my first time with online exams, and probably not yours either. But if you keep reading, I will not require the use of Respondus Lockdown Browser Monitor software because not everybody may have equal accessibility to that kind of technology, which essentially means that exams will be open notebook. Can't stop you from using that stuff. However, I will ask you to sign UCA's academic integrity policy for each exam, which states that you won't use any additional resources or share work. I'm asking you to adhere to that. And additionally, you're not going to have a ton of time. You'll have the regular amount of class time to complete the exam. So it doesn't mean if you, just because you're like, oh great, I'm going to get to use my book, that you're going to have all the time in the world to flip, search through the chapters to find the information you're looking for. That will severely hinder your ability to complete the exam on time. So you will still need to know the material and comprehend it, is what I'm trying to say, to do well on the exams. So that's labs and exams and how the wording and everything's been updated. if you go down to the end, here's our lecture schedule, and then here's our lab schedule. Okay, so here are the things that have been adjusted. The only 2 labs that we're going to come into lab for, if you look over on scheduling, August 24th, so next week, Group A will meet in lab to complete detecting signs of chemical change. The following week, Group B will meet in lab to complete that same lab. And then the only other lab we'll do face-to-face is down here the weeks of October 19th and the weeks of October 26th. October 19th, Group A will meet in lab to complete Le Chatelier's principle. Group B will meet in lab to complete Le Chatelier's principle, if we are still allowed to have face-to-face contact at that point in the semester. So that's the updates on the syllabus. If anything else changes, I will let you know, and we'll get started next week with labs.